Hi, it's Wendy from Abundant Living Mommy. I'm so sorry about that. I'm not sure what happened, but welcome again. Thank you for joining me. And I wanted just to invite you into my home tonight and show you some of the meals that I prepare in our home, as well as the meals as part of my meal plan program that I'm going to be launching in October. So I've gone ahead and, well, actually, let's back up just for a moment. I want to tell you our menu first. I always like to know the menu and what my choices are as far as whether or not I'm going to want to join. So the first thing that we're making is a salmon. So I have a cedar plank salmon with lemon and rosemary. We're going to have a broccoli with quinoa, the creamy dairy-free broccoli with quinoa, and a spring-summer watermelon salad. Excuse me, summer, not spring. So let's go ahead and get started. So what I've done is I already started with my salmon ahead of time. I'm trying to shorten our time just a little bit. So I have a plank, and you can buy these pre-soaked. This one wasn't, so you just take it and you're going to soak it in water so that the water gets in the wood, of course. And then I put my salmon on it. I left the skin on, and then I have some lemons on there, some rosemary, some salt and pepper. And then I'm just going to go ahead and place this in the oven, and it's at 400 degrees. So I'll place that in the oven, and while I do that, we will get started on our other side dishes. So we're going to be making a quinoa tonight. And quinoa is a great side dish. It's packed full of wonderful nutrients and protein, especially if you're a vegetarian. It can be incorporated into lots of different meals. And so what I'm doing is I'm going to take 1 cup of quinoa, and then I've already put the water in my pan. I have 1 3/4 cup water in my pan, and I'm going to boil these both together. Put that in there. And in my other dish, I'm going to place some broccoli, and I'm going to steam my broccoli while the quinoa is cooking. Now, one of the things with broccoli that I like to do is I actually like to cook a lot of it so that we have it for leftovers. So when I'm not using it for this meal, then we can have it for a snack tomorrow or for lunch, put it in a salad, or just as a side dish as well. So while we have our broccoli cooking, our quinoa cooking, those will take both of them approximately 15 minutes, as well as the salmon. We'll check that in about 15 minutes. So what we'll do while those are both cooking is we'll get started on our dressing. And I have a yummy dressing that will be a great complement to a summer salad with watermelon. So what we're going to do is take a jar. I just use any mason jar. And we're going to take 1 teaspoon of honey. And you can get any honey. I like to get raw honey, and we actually like to get it from your local area. So if you actually have allergies, raw honey is wonderful for that as well. So we'll put that right in there. So I know for me, when I'm looking at meal planning, whether I'm looking at other people's meal plans or creating some for myself, I want them to be easy, I want them to be functional, and I want them to be a meal that everybody is going to like in my family, not just myself, but that everybody is going to like. Okay, so we have 1 tablespoon of honey, and I'm going to take 1 tablespoon of olive oil. I need a little bit more. There we go. I tell you, tonight was just a night full of all kinds of technical difficulties. Kind of have to regroup and take a breath after that, right? Okay, so then I have 1 tablespoon of honey, 1 tablespoon of olive oil. We're going to use some fresh lemon juice. And I am loving the lemons right now. We have Meyer's lemons, which are really, really juicy. So we're going to use a 1/4 cup of lemon juice. The thing with Meyer's lemons is you get so much more lemon juice out of them than you do with most of the other lemons. Okay, probably 1 more. Like I said, this is a great complement. When you have a watermelon, you want something that's like a little sweet, a little tart. So we'll add our lemon juice into there. And then I'm going to take 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. Isn't that easy? You shake it up. And again, quick and easy, right? Okay. So now let's go ahead and get started on our salad. And I have some watermelon that I've chopped up. And let's just take a peek at our vegetables and see how they're doing. Okay. Turn those down just a bit. Okay, and then let's go ahead and make our salad. And again, one of the things that I like to do is easy is I actually today bought some spinach and arugula that are already pre-washed. And then you can just pop it in your bowl. And we have our watermelon cubed. We'll just take some of our watermelon and put them right on top, just like that. Looks to be about good. And the one thing is that if you're not dairy-free, you can use feta or any other cheeses that you like. We are dairy-free, so I'm going to show you tonight how to do my Kite Hill dairy-free herb cheese. And so if you've caught that on my blog recently, we're going to go ahead and just make a little bit of it, just enough for our salad. So I'm going to take 2 tablespoons of Kite Hill. The thing I love about Kite Hill is that it is really, it's almond. It's almond, salt, enzymes, tartaric acid, which gives it the tang, and natural cultures. There's nothing else in it. So dairy-free options, if you are really looking for dairy-free, it's wonderful. It tastes delicious. We love it. And then, so we have 2 tablespoons. I have the fresh parsley that I've already washed. And then I'm actually going to put 3 cloves of garlic because they're actually getting to the end of my garlic stash and there's kind of small. So we'll do 3 cloves of garlic. The thing that you can do with this Kite Hill is you can actually add so many other herbs to it, but for me, I don't want it to overpower our salad tonight, so we are just going to do parsley, garlic, and we'll do a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. It's going to be a little loud for a minute. And I'm just going to put a tad bit of olive oil drizzled on top. You don't need very much. It just kind of breaks it down a little bit. So let's stir that. I love my food processor. I have one large one, and then I have this small one that I like to use for little meals like this. So you just need a little bit. Give a nice herb. Give that just a second. You can just put a little bit on top. We'll give you a little sweetness, a little tartness to complement the watermelon, right? I love watermelon. We literally go through 2 huge watermelons a week. Perfect. Okay. And then you can drizzle a little bit more honey on top. We don't do a lot of sugar here, but when we do a little bit, I will do a little honey. Just a little honey on top. And then we have our dressing. And I'm just going to take a look at our broccoli. It doesn't take very long. You really only want it to be tender before you use it. Let me just get rid of my mess. Okay. We are almost there. See how quickly you can prepare a good, healthy meal? Okay, the other thing that I really wanted to mention while we're waiting for both of those to get done is talk about nutritional yeast for a minute. And I'm not sure if anybody has used nutritional yeast, but it's what is going to be in our quinoa. And it's a really great cheese alternative. So if you are dairy-free, you're a vegan, and you want to have that yummy, cheesy, creamy flavor, this is something that you can use. It is a perfect protein, which there's not very many foods that are a perfect protein. So this nutritional yeast is packed full of vitamins and nutrients. It's a little tart, or I guess you'd say tart, tangy. It has a very distinct taste and flavor to it, but with raw foods, it takes on and enhances the flavors of the natural food. So it's a really great spice, if you will, to add to, you can do it on rice or pastas. You can use it in place of Parmesan cheese. So for us, you know, Parmesan cheese is something that I really kind of miss. You could sprinkle it on foods and mix it in, like I said, rice or pastas, dressings. It's delicious. So I know you can't taste it through the computer or the video, but something that you might want to try. And we're going to use a tablespoon of that once we get it all mixed up and ready. So probably should be ready. Let me go take a look at that. So meal planning can really be challenging. I think whether you stay home or you work, you know, it can be really overwhelming and trying to plan meals, trying to figure out what to feed everybody. And so like I said earlier, I really like simple meals that are healthy, that everybody will enjoy. Okay, so we're going to take about 2 cups of broccoli, and for time's sake, I went ahead and I washed them and I cleaned them earlier. And you just want the broccoli tops. You can use broccoli florets as well, but I had these. And then you're just going to chop them up nice and small. They're just fork tender. They don't need to be you don't want them to be too overcooked. You want to have a little crunch when you bite into them, right? Okay, that's probably pretty good. So as I told you, I'm going to be launching a meal plan program in October, and you're going to have the option of subscribing to meals that will provide breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and it will give you a shopping list. It will give you all the to-dos and how-tos and tips and tricks, and it can be used for, any diet. And so that's why over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be doing a lot of the cooking ones so that you'll actually be able to see some of the meals that you're going to be able to choose from and that you're going to be able to hopefully love like we love. So let me get one more bowl. Forgot to get that. Okay, and now I'm going to get my quinoa. And it doesn't take very long to cook. Another reason why I love it, you can have quinoa salads. You can put quinoa on just about anything. So you're going to put the quinoa in the bowl. That right over here. And then we're going to take our broccoli. Put it right inside the bowl. So I'm doing this at 6 o'clock tonight Pacific, and everybody's time schedule is a little bit different, so you'll have to let me know if there's another time that might work a little better for you. I just chose this. A lot of people will be eating dinner now, and I thought we could be preparing dinner together, maybe giving you a new couple tips. These recipes will all be posted tomorrow or the next day on my blog. Okay, and so we have the quinoa, the water. Now I'm going to put the yeast in. And I was just looking for my tablespoon. You think you have everything out, and there's always something you forget. Sprinkle a tablespoon of the yeast on, and if you haven't seen it, it's just powder. It's just a powdery, it comes in flakes or in powder. I'm going to put a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. So as soon as you open up the yeast, you can smell it. And if you're concerned about is yeast, what yeast is, or the nutritional yeast, is it's deactivated. So it doesn't have the same rising properties that other yeast yields. Okay. That looks good. I'll put that right here. Doesn't that look delicious? Okay, let's check our salmon. And with the salmon, you want to make sure that you don't overcook it. It will become too dry, but you want to make sure that you have cooked it long enough. So you just want it to be flaky. So just use your fork and use a little bit to the side and just test it and see. And I think this looks perfect. Okay. It will depend upon what size fillets you have. The thing with salmon also that you want to make sure is that you're getting wild caught salmon. That is really important. Okay, I'm just going to get my spatula. We'll put it on our plate. There you go. And then you can just drizzle the honey lemon dressing on top just a little bit. And there you go. Voila! Dinner served. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it. Please write me, comment. I'd love to answer your questions. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties again, but I hope you enjoyed this and look forward to sharing more meals with you and recipes. If there's even specific recipes that you're looking for or things that you really want to transform into a healthy into a healthy recipe, I'd love to hear from you and love to know what those are. I love to recreate old recipes into healthier ones. And again, these recipes will be on my blog later this week. And thanks again for having you join me in my home. Have a great night.